Are you a high handicapper? Then you'll know this feeling. Topping drives, three-putting everything, and wondering why practice never shows up on the course. But here's the twist. Even with all that, the round ended in a way I never expected. And I'm showing you every single shot, even the ones some golfers might call cheating. Stick around because this is what real high handicap golf looks like. For those of you who are new here, I'm Matt. I only started playing golf last year as a complete beginner, and I'm documenting 100 rounds to see what actually happens when you try to learn this game. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. So hit subscribe and be part of the journey, because the big question is, what does 100 rounds of golf as a complete beginner really look like? Behind the scenes, I've been putting most of my time into the short game, little chip shots at the range, and I even found a small grass practice area where I can actually practice on real turf. The goal's been to build more consistency and feel around the greens. I've also been trying to swing smoother, closer to 80%, instead of going full tilt. I still forget on some holes and go back to 100%. And every time I swing out of my shoes, it's obvious. I might gain a few extra yards, but when the ball's going the wrong direction, the distance just doesn't matter. One thing I've noticed is that practice doesn't always translate to the course. On the range, it's flat. There's no pressure, and I can just repeat the same shot over and over. Out here, every lie is different. Uphill, downhill, rough, bunkers, and suddenly the swing feels harder to repeat. That's okay though. I keep my expectations in check, because I still think all these reps, on and off the course, are slowly getting ingrained into my swing. Even if I don't see the results right away, the experience is building. How are you guys doing? And what are you working on in your game right now? Drop a comment below. I love hearing where everyone's at. And for those of you who don't want to share as publicly here on YouTube, I've got a free Discord chat where you can hang out, talk golf, and share the struggles. Links down below. So I just smashed a double espresso, and my whole 80% chilled swing idea went straight out the window. I gave it full beans with the driver, then with the 9-wood, and even pulled the 6-iron the same way. The funny thing is, with my swing speed, I don't think I'm actually gaining much yardage by going after it that hard. If anything, it just makes my misses bigger. Honestly, I'm lucky not to end up in real trouble here. The irony is, with my putting, I probably need to do the opposite. Give it a little extra, instead of leaving everything short. And here comes the rain. I've got the new FootJoy Fuel shoes on, 2025s. But to be honest, I'm not that happy with them yet. I might share more thoughts later, or just drop it into one of my Roundtable Golf emails. Most of what actually works for me never makes it into these videos, so I usually write it up there instead. Links below if you want it. I always aim a little right here, because most of my shots tend to go left. But some days I live dangerously close to the edge. I'd love to tell you I meant it. But as a high handicapper, my game isn't about shot shaping on purpose. It's more about knowing my approximate distance and dispersion, then trying to play to that pattern and avoid the big trouble as best I can. Okay, not my best drive, but that's alright. The goal now is just to lay up from the bunker and save the hole from turning into a blow-up. I've watched all of Golf Sidekick's Break 100 series and pretty much use it as my playbook. I've thought about moving on to his Break 90 series, but for now this is enough. Keep it simple, keep it playable, that's the plan. My drive here went 148 yards total, rollout included, not my best. But it's not the end of the world either. The real mistake came on the next shot. Instead of laying up, I tried to make up for the poor drive by going full send with my longest iron chunky McChunkerson. Not exactly my smartest play. This is exactly what Golf Sidekick talks about in The Way of the Playa. Don't compound mistakes. One bad drive doesn't have to ruin the hole. The smarter play would have been to lay up, keep the ball in play, and give myself a chance to escape with bogey or maybe even par. Instead, I chased distance and went for the low percentage hero shot and just made things worse. Nine holes down, and here's the big reminder for me. Golf is hard, and that's why I'm documenting this journey. It's not about showing perfect swings, it's about showing the reality of learning this game as a high handicapper. The weather alone changes everything. Today it's been raining, softer fairways, heavier gear, and less rollout. A few weeks or even hours from now, it could be bone dry, the ball running forever, but straight into trouble. Same course, completely different challenge. The course setup shifts too. Tees move, pins get tucked into corners, bunkers are perfect one day and a mess the next. But the greens are what really get me. Everyone says, warm up on the practice green to feel the speed. But out here it can change hole by hole. Early morning dew, a freshly cut surface, then by the back nine it's dried out. Add in rain or sprinklers, and suddenly you've putted on half a dozen speeds in one round. That's tough for anyone, especially a beginner. But that unpredictability is part of what makes it fun. And of course there's us. Some days you're rested and calm, other days you're rushed to the tee, distracted, or just not in the mood. Even who you're paired with can change how the round feels. That's the beauty and the frustration of golf. No two rounds ever play the same, and no matter how much you practice, it finds ways to surprise you. But that's exactly why I keep coming back, and why I want to share all of this with you. You always hear golfers say, focus on the positives, remember your good shots. I even heard once that LeBron James would only watch clips of his best plays to build confidence. And that makes total sense if you're a professional athlete. You reinforce success by replaying it over and over. But let's be honest, I'm not on tour, and I'm not chasing trophies. I'm just out here learning the game. So I take a different approach. I built a team of characters out of my mistakes, the mishit crew. Chunky McChunkerson, Toppy McNo-Go, Pulley McPullface, Thinny McThinface, and of course Three-Putt McGee. They show up more often than I'd like, but they actually make this journey more fun. And here's the thing. The goal isn't to get rid of them, that's golf. We're always going to hit bad shots. If I can just get to the point where they only show up every now and then, I'll be more than happy with that. Short par 3, hit the green, feeling good. You'd think that's the hard part done. But golf has a way of humbling you. My putter made sure of it. Another notch on the 3-putt counter, thanks to our old friend, Three-Putt McGee. This one's a new experience for me. I hit what felt like a decent approach, just a little short, and it plugged straight into the bank. Looks like I wasn't the first either, because I even got a bonus ball out of it. Now, do I have that shot in my locker? Definitely not. So I just moved it. Let me know in the comments what the actual rules would have been here, because honestly I wasn't sure. Either way, I'd have moved it. But I don't know if there should have been a penalty. You know, I think sometimes golf gets made harder than it needs to be. I'm a beginner, a high handicapper, and honestly I still don't even know half the rules. I'm not playing in tournaments, I'm not submitting scores for handicap, I'm just out here learning the game and trying to enjoy it. So for me that means I don't always follow the rulebook to the letter, and I actually think most of us beginners and high handicappers should do the same. Because golf is already tough enough when you're learning. If my ball ends up in someone else's footprint in a bunker, I will move it. If I'm up against tree roots or rocks, I'm moving it. I'd rather protect my wrists and my clubs. Ball plugged in a divot, I'm rolling it out. If I lose a ball or go out of bounds, I'm not walking all the way back to the tee, I'll drop somewhere nearby and keep moving. And if it's in a stream or water, yep, I'm just moving it out. I've even seen some courses here play with a lift and place rule in the fairway. I've never felt the need to do it myself, but I can see why better players wouldn't want to deal with a mud ball. Some people will call that cheating, but I don't think beginners should beat themselves up with every punishment in the rulebook. We're not pros, we're not on tour, we're just trying to learn the game. One day I might care about strict rules, but for now, I'd rather keep it simple and fun. Because if you're enjoying it, you'll keep coming back. And that's the whole point. I share even more from this challenge in my free email, the Roundtable Golf Club. Gear, drills, and the stuff that never makes it to YouTube. Links below if you want in. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to follow along the full 100 round challenge. Final score today was 90, 46 on the front 9 and 44 on the back 9. What I'm most happy about is how steady it felt. I hit 71% of fairways, found 5 greens in regulation, and had one of my best putting rounds yet, gaining nearly 3 strokes with the flat stick. The work I've been putting into my short game is really starting to show. Chipping felt solid, and the putting practice is paying off more and more each round. Golf is never perfect, but this was one of those days where accuracy, smarter play, and a sharper short game made it fun all the way around.